something like that.
What's going on here, dude?
I don't know.
You have to
I feel
conduct
like you
all
should
your
start
fruity
this.
business.
This is going.
All right, I'm starting this shit
I'm just
without
gonna-
her.
She's running the stage.
awesome.
Do you feel vibes
We
that are
gotta.
bad?
No, I'm just gonna do it just to bless it.
Oh, what's going on?
Here we go.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. All right,
Oh, you're really glitchy today. Is it the heat? Oh yeah, super glitchy, but we did it. What's up, fools?
We're here.
Hey, how's it
Hi.
going?
Hey. We're
How's
getting
it going?
good.
Hi, Chad.
We're
Hi,
sitting here with
Chad's
Chad.
here.
It only glitches when I pee.
That's true.
That's a good one.
How did you
That's
know?
what he
Because you just peed. I'm sitting next to you.
Oh.
You heard him? You heard him glitch?
This glitch is brought to you by apple juice.
And Hennessy. You
Apple
forgot
juice.
the best
Oh,
part.
yeah. Well,
Apple
we
juice
were
and
just talking about me
Hennessy.
peeing, so I figured it looked more like the apple juice than the Hennessy.
Well, they look
If
similar.
you don't drink enough water, it could look like the Hennessy, though.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I
I
know.
feel like
Oh, and
hobos have
smell
that
like-
confusion all the time. Is it my apple juice, Hennessy, or urine?
And welcome to apple juice, Hennessy, or urine.
Yeah, let's talk about the difference.
I don't know. They all end up
They all
at
kind of-
urine.
Yeah.
They're all the same color. I have seen pee the consistency of like a Hennessy laid out in the sun and dried out.
Like it was coming
On
out in like chunks?
How
Like
does
on a
Hennessy
toilet
dry
seat.
out?
No, so it was like
It's like spurting
this
out?
guy was a heavy drinker and he stayed with us. And he spent the night and he peed in our spare bathroom when I lived in the apartment. And he peed on the seat and I was out of town. So when I came back into town, I went to go clean the bathroom and he peed on the seat. But it was like maple syrup pee.
Yeah.
Oh, yours
And I
is
think
dried
it's
up?
part of it was because of Hennessy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
he's
like it,
dehydrated.
it affects your pee.
Needs water.
Yeah, it's just ugh.
As a
Yikes.
peer,
Lot of
someone who's
sugar
peed their
in
whole
that.
life, I will
Have you-
notice when I'm dehydrated or eat too many vitamins, it gets thicker and darker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're-
Or when you're trying to pass a sobriety test, it comes out neon green like Gatorade.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, what?
Well, let's
Hopefully
speaking
not,
of fluids.
Hopefully not at the test.
It did, but see, when you have a second party doing the test, they just take it and send it to,
A second party, what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
So like I had to take a piss test for the government, and they sent me to a place to take the pee, and this place just happened to be like a
To take the
yeah,
pee.
like this place was actually sorry, Chad.
To leave the pee.
It was yeah to
Not
leave the
actually
pee.
doing-
leaving.
Had to take a
I'm
pee.
leaving it for it to go to laboratory.
yeah.
But the place that I went to take the pee was by my house, and it was like a drug,
Just outside
like a
around
drug
your house.
anonymous class. They also did like if you got a DUI, you did your classes there. So the funniest part was that actual place that they sent me to, I did my DUI classes there twice for both my DUIs. So then I had to go for a business, and they're like, again, and I'm like, man, just
I didn't even
take
know you
this
had
pee.
two D.
A girl had to watch me pee, and she like when I peed, she was watching me, and I was like, damn, okay. Gave it to her, and I was like, oh my gosh. I thought in my head, it looks like Gatorade. She looked at it, kind of weirded out, and then I was like, hey, can I just post up here until you guys test? And she's like, oh no, we just take your pee. It gets sent to a laboratory tonight at 5. So then the whole day I'm
like, oh, no,
tripping,
we
like, oh
just
my
drink your
gosh,
pee.
what's gonna happen? Is that magic stuff gonna disappear, and my pee's gonna come out dirty? I was tripping out. I didn't know how it worked.
This is a gross cast now. How'd you?
Gross.
You pee.
But it happened. Pee's natural.
I did this dumb joke for a while that I was giving blood, and then the gal asked me what my blood type was, and I said ranch dressing. I thought that was pretty nasty. My blood type was ranch
Ranch
dressing.
dressing
Yeah.
is delicious.
It is,
I had
but going through your veins probably not very delicious.
No.
Yeah.
Ben Branfin said this on my podcast is ranch dressing, which I love ranch. I love the flavor ranch, but it's not a flavor; it's a place. Like, what is that flavor? Like
Right.
ranch. Like, what is it?
Herbs.
In the Hidden Valley.
Herbs and mayo.
Valley.
It's just like
Yeah.
it's just mayo. It's just a fancy, thinner
It's like mayo
mayo.
Aioli.
And
That's
like-
what they like to call it these
It's eggs
days.
and mayonnaise.
Aioli.
and
Eggs is mayonnaise.
like Doritos that are crushed up in there, right? That's how they make ranch dressing.
Dude, they're gonna start making it like that now.
Yeah.
Cooler ranch dressing.
Cool Ranch.
I remember when I was locked up, I was like, "There's no sauce. There's no sauce. They don't give me ketchup. They don't give me ranch."
They would shoot you soups.
So there was no way to make, like, you didn't mix water and Cool Ranch chips or something? Because that.
Well,
wouldn't
they
that be
do
something?
that. They do that. I mean, I didn't get that into it, but
Oh, okay.
You know what?
I
It's making
bought
me think of
mayo.
something. is there's so much in jail. What like there's little specific things that you guys want. I feel like there's a market for me. I can just go in there and not only like make a little bit of profit, but maybe
You'll
not
get
even
sold
that.
dressed like that in there.
Maybe not that, but just like help it out. You know what I mean? Like give these people
I have no idea. I
give
made
them
Thai
like
food
some.
out of apple jelly, bro.
Dude,
No.
you told me how you tried to. You
Made
made
of mine.
She slept
Chad,
on
did you hear
She
about
slept on
her-
a tamale. She
her
made
cooking?
a tamale. She like slept on it.
I
to
sat
make
on
it.
it.
Tell,
I mama
Chad,
henned it.
explain to Chad how you would make food in jail.
I'll just give you. I'm just gonna give you the
Give it a
best recipe.
rundown.
My
Give me
favorite.
like the BuzzFeed of like your 10 favorite.
I should put that together.
The one that amazed me the most. was
Number 1.
chicken pad thai.
Oh, okay. Like the
So-
bed pad, you just kind of chop
No,
up
no,
some
no,
of
no,
that.
no. The sauce to make chicken pad thai in jail. Sorry, it was like peanut butter, apple jelly, the chili seasoning from Top Ramen,
Okay.
an orange juice, and then they would use chicharrones, and they'd mix that to make like orange chicken.
Chicharrones.
But I thought that was super weird, and I don't really like pork rinds, so I wasn't into it. I was like, I'm not
What?
taking it.
Fuck
So
you.
instead of, I bought like, you can buy like chicken in a bag, like, you know,
You could buy chicken in a bag.
like
in
chicken to the
prison?
sea, you know, Jessica Simpson's fave.
Chicken with the C?
Yeah, chicken to the
Oh,
sea.
chicken of the
But it's
sea.
in a
Chicken
bag?
of the sea, but it's in a bag.
Like at Taco Bell, when I worked at Taco Bell, that's how chicken came. You
But dude,
boiled it in a bag.
You mixed all those things. Like you think about it: peanut butter, apple jelly, chili seasoning, and orange juice.
Innovative.
I get it. I bet the orange juice kind of like cooks it. It's like a ceviche.
citric.
It's like a prison ceviche.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Prisons, they make that.
They
Oh,
do.
yeah?
They make a hell
It
of
just shows
shit.
how good ceviche is. If you add anything in front of it,
No,
I'd still be like,
you know
"Ooh,
what? I
prison
want to say
ceviche."
this is just shows how resilient and brilliant women are, that you just go in jail and you fucking make shit up. Like when the zombie apocalypse comes, or when we don't have shit coming,
Yep.
we got to go to people who were in fucking jail and be like, how do I make? I just need one. I'm probably gonna die in a week.
I have a bunch of pads in my.
I just want like one.
I need
I just
Pruno.
want. I want to taste the tamale for the last time. It's like, you got fucking Fritos. Let's do this. You know what I mean?
You need hot
Let's just
water.
sit
though,
on-
so you
yeah.
gotta sit on it. You got need plastic.
You don't
bags.
think there's
It's
going to
gonna
be
help.
any tamales in the zombie apocalypse?
That
I think
shit
that there
is
would
hard
be.
to
Those
make.
would be the
No.
most ladies right there hustling. Like,
Hell
están
no.
muriendo, but they're like badass. Like survive the border homes.
Right?
Like, I got this.
Dude, they'll be making bank.
Dude,
I remember
probably.
I was in a flight from Guatemala, and the pollo campero out there is like staple, and it's so good. We have it out here. It's just not the same.
Did you say the what?
It's like
Pollo
a staple.
campero?
Yeah, pollo campero is the Guatemalan chicken.
That
So
sounds
every
like
time
chicken
you
dog.
fly back from Guatemala, you're in a plane. That smells
Guatemala.
nothing like campero. And one time we got stuck in a plane for like 2 hours, and this lady straight up took out her campero and started selling by the leg. And I was just like, she's a fucking
G for
dude.
sure.
And we were on that plane
G
for
for
hours. And if you
Guatemala.
didn't have a card, this is when they started like you needed to have a card to purchase on airplanes.
Oh yeah, back
Yeah,
then
yeah,
we
yeah.
had
Happened.
cash.
Like before you had cash, it was fine.
Now
And
you
all of a
can't.
sudden you can't.
Speaking of cash,
you can
how
get
much
robbed.
is a bag of chicken in prison? You
We
said
don't
you
get
could
bags
buy.
of
You
chicken.
said you could buy a bag of
yeah,
chicken.
those little bags of chicken.
Yeah.
I think it was like $1.25.
Yeah.
Who's got that kind of money?
Not a lot of
me.
people.
Not
I
a
did.
lot
I
of
was like the baller. I had 200 on my commissary. Shout out to Myrna. Yeah, I was like living large in there. It's not nothing.
She
to
was
brag,
like,
but
"Hey, I'm
seriously,
new, but I got the shit. So when you gonna shoot me a soup, I'll shoot you some shit.
me a
I'll
soup.
shoot you a soup back.
What you need?
It's okay.
There's a bright side of green
want a
for
ramen?
me everywhere.
Wait, shoot you a soup? That's
Shoot you a soup.
is
That's our
that what's
slang.
that? What's that euphemism for?
It's like a
Yeah.
That's how you take care of everything in prison. It
Just-
sounds like.
is
I
with shooting
Hey, I'll shoot you a soup when you
it's
help
like an
me out.
actual soup. We're actually
Yeah,
talking
top
about
ramen.
soup.
Like, I gave a guy a top ramen for a pair of his boxers on the bus from a court.
Oh,
Come on,
Did
did he smell really good or something?
I didn't smell them. No, I just needed boxers.
Oh shit! You took your. Do you take all
Girls
your
don't
shit to
get
court with
boxers.
you, and just in case you get out, you get all your shit?
No, that's a stingy bitch. Only a stingy girl would do that. Like take all your snacks
I'm
back.
Looks
asking.
like
I've
she
never
just
been.
called you out.
No, she's letting me know.
Your snacks back. You better leave your snacks with the
what
homies.
fuck? You better
No, I
leave them
mean-
with the poor. Like
I
the
mean, do you
hungry
take them with
still
you
in
for
jail.
bartering? It's like your money. Why you gonna leave money behind? You take it with you,
because-
and then you try to buy like.
Because there's somebody that I like lived with, and like we shared a fucking 8x10 space.
It's with someone
There's-
else. You got
I'm sharing the space with somebody. We're eating together. I can't eat in front of people at the bar. Do you see how much food I order? Because I can't eat in front of people.
No, dude, I'm never there that early.
But you're eating at a bar behind the bar where
That's-
While you're
everyone's
working.
That's all you ever do.
So I
also.
but I
You
share my
shouldn't be
food
eating.
though.
Yeah.
But I order enough to share.
You
I
do,
don't.
sure.
I don't eat in front of people and not offer. That won't be me. I'll always give you a taste. I want you to try it. You know what I mean? So like when I was in there, it was just like, okay, this girl's teaching me the ins and outs of how to live in here. Who am I to be like? Take these.
No, but so you
Jesus.
took a soup with you though.
I wish I would have taken home some shebangs.
See,
This is up here. I
she
have on the
shaming me,
screen.
and then was like, I wish I would have
These are
took it
called
with
the
me.
whole shebangs, and basically
shebang.
this is
These are voted the
the
best
legendary
chip.
best
Oh,
chips
dope.
in prison. It's all the flavors, Chad.
Look
And
at that
you
guy
can't
right
get them
there.
unless
He's
you
so
go to
happy
jail.
for it.
To buy you can find them online, but to buy 12 bags
It's
is like
expensive.
$80.
What?
Yeah, it's like
That's-
it's insane.
We should start a
God,
fund
it's
for it.
insane.
Just
How
to
much is
help
it in
celebrate
prison?
for Melania. We should help
Oh.
celebrate Melania.
We have some
Everyone
news,
donate
yeah.
money so we can buy these chips for
Celebratory
Mel.
for me because I'm never going back.
Yep.
My case got dismissed today, y'all.
What?
Case got
That's the
dismissed.
reason for the Hennessy and
That's powerful.
apple
Cheers.
That
juice.
boy's gonna get taken
Fuck
off.
yeah, get it off.
I just thought that was a pager.
It's getting taken off.
Oh, you got a cool ankle.
And I'm hoping to do it live.
Pager.
If not, I'm gonna record
Is that an
it for
ankle
everyone.
pager?
Yeah,
Nice.
dope.
It's my Wi-Fi connection.
Hell yeah, congratulations,
hotspot.
Mel
Can I,
C.
can I get your Wi-Fi password
Little baby.
for your pager?
That's so funny, man.
Do it.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
today's a
congratulations,
good day.
Mel.
It's Friday. And
Here,
I like
I'm
it.
gonna take a little bit of that Hennessy.
Oh my God,
And
Fina,
pizza.
Hennessy, Fina.
Okay, I'm gonna say I already dedicated my whole day being here today, which is I always have shit to
Here
do.
at the Mature
but I'm
Adult
here.
Farm?
I'm
I'm
hanging
not
out all
choosing
day.
you. I'm handing it to you so you can chase it. 'cause it's-
Oh, I don't need a chaser.
I'm not cheersing.
You
no,
know
but I
me.
want you to try it.
She's not, dude. Look at her.
I know
She's
she's
like a
not
lesbian
fucking
that's about to
Batman.
go to prison
Fucking Batman here.
for
So
killing her
crazy.
boyfriend.
Is it like the Jameson and
Martinelli's
pickle?
is just amazing. Yeah, exactly. Martinelli's.
Well, that was
Hennessy.
some great news, you guys.
Yeah.
So what are all the flavors of whole shebang? You've got just like a cheese. You've got a barbecue.
Bacon,
Can you
barbecue.
tell?
Everything mixed.
Oh, yeah,
It's
no,
everything in
everything.
one chip, or each chip is
No.
a different one.
No,
That's what we
everything in
thought.
One chip.
We thought when she was explaining it to us, it was one of each chip, but it's all in one
No,
chip.
there's that.
What's the extreme ones? Because there's like regular and extreme.
I only had the
Here.
black bag.
Were you able?
What
to,
does that say?
Were
I
you
can't
able
read.
to Skype in from prison? Is that when they asked you before? No.
No, but she called me from prison.
How
and I-
long were you there?
Yeah, that's a
Dude,
funny
that was
story.
so crazy.
I was in Arizona.
I cried.
Driving by a prison, like the middle of like nowhere. I was headed to Surprise, Arizona. It's like nothing there. There was a prison.
Yeah, we're
And
going
all
out
of
for
a sudden-
shows. I'm in the front seat. We're smoking hella weed, and we're like, "Oh shit, that's a prison."
Yeah.
It's like a prison there, and we're like, "Oh, talking about it." And then all of a sudden, his phone rings, and you can see it.
On the screen of my phone, it said prison jail.
Whoa.
And I was like, what the fuck?
you have that
Yo.
number saved?
No, I screenshot it though. Like it's so funny. Like I was like, what the fuck? So I answered it,
freaked
and
out.
it's this full. It goes. Would you accept a collect call from your little monster? Or something?
And it wasn't. That's the funny part. It wasn't your little monster. So when I got arrested, the first person that I called from jail was my daughter's father. So I said, like it says, say your name after the beep, right? So I said, baby monster. Right? So it called him and whatever. But they saved that as my intro. So every time I called for the whole month that I was there, everybody would say, you got a call from baby monster. But I guess the way, like it was bad connection. So they
So-
just heard like,
Yeah,
Your little
I thought I
monster.
didn't know who it was, and it was on speakerphone. I thought it said Bree Monster, which is his friend Bree's Instagram name.
Oh,
so
yeah, I
I'm
forgot.
sitting there
Shout out to
high
Bree.
as fuck. Oh yeah, shout out to Bree. High as fuck, like really confused. And then you started talking, and then I figured out it was you because you're like, "Oh, who's there?" And I was like, quiet. And he's like, "Oh," you're like, "Oh, what's up?" And I was like, oh, "It's Mel." And I was like, got all teary eyed. I was like, "Shit, this fucking bitch!" But I was so shocked
Fucking bitch.
because we're by a prison. What?
that's funny. Yeah, I
No.
was totally trying to like. I remember that day calling him, and I was like, I hope he answers. I hope Art answers. Like it's paid for, bro. Just
How you
answer.
not gonna?
God.
I'm gonna answer. If I
Every
see
time
prison jail, I'm gonna answer.
Yeah.
it.
Answer the phone.
I never know what's calling. That could be any family member of mine. Like,
I got a call from Art right after that just said, if a number calls you, answer it. It's Mel C. She's calling from jail.
I called you before that and then after, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, GE didn't answer. Eric, Art.
Well, I think that's just like a great update, like from her being there to it being dismissed.
Yeah.
On the whole gambit.
And if you don't
It's
know
over.
the story, go back and listen to some episodes.
Now
We
you
tell you
know.
about it. You get some good recipes.
Yeah, I think that episode's called "Shoot Me a Soup."
Yeah, I think it's
Shoot
like
me a soup, baby.
37 or 36. Check it
Shoot
out.
me a soup, fool. And on this episode,
Speaking
we
about
have,
soup.
we have Chad. We
Yeah.
should go.
Speaking of
Why we brought him?
fools, Speaking of fools. Hey, yeah. Wait, why did you guys bring me?
Because you're a funny guy.
Yeah,
You're
Chad.
a funny actor, comedian.
So how do we know Chad?
had a
How do you know
beard.
Chad? Do you remember the
you
first
know
time you
Chad.
met Chad?
When I first met Chad, we did a Hercules handshake, and I loved it.
What does that mean?
Where you like
Show us.
you go like to the wrist, like
That's like a girl handshake.
no,
that's
it's
how
not.
the women.
That's how Hercules does.
Like
it.
older
this?
Latin women
Wait,
shake
like
hands.
this?
Like this.
Like this.
Yes.
You don't know that? Like,
Older Latin women shake like
I'm
that?
not shaking hands
I
with
knew
older
it.
Latin
I
women.
knew I had a
this?
lot of
women-
Latino
yeah,
in me.
women amongst
I knew
women,
it.
They go like this.
Chad's
That's
so
like a
Latina.
church- like if you go to church, that's how the women always shake hands. I
Why
don't
do
know
people
what-
shake like that?
I don't know.
I don't
was a
know.
little girl. I just learned.
I don't
like,
shake older women's hands. I usually
older
hug me.
Latin-
I usually hug or
Yeah,
kiss them
he's
on
a
the
boy,
cheek.
but
Yeah.
like older women amongst older
he's a
women
boy?
when they greet each other. Like I've seen it at church, and I did it not too long ago, and I was like,
Well, I did-
okay, this is what you.
So
do.
you guys
I
did
was
that
drawn
like
to Chad's
Latin women.
Latina-ness.
We're fucking Hercules. That's how
And
we're
was
Latina.
that-
It was like
Latina
I'm like,
women?
well, I was like your abuela.
Yeah, right.
He shakes hands like abuela.
That's my abuela handshake. Okay, that's my abuela handshake.
All right. Well, we have so much in common.
Hercules. No, we're just got balls, you know.
Yeah, no, Chad.
We
and
got the
Chad's-
strength.
Women do have balls. They're called ovaries,
Yes.
and they're just smart, and they keep them on the
Yes.
inside. I'll tell you, it's just a smart thing. Guys are just cocky.
They're
Like, look at my balls.
So vulnerable.
What the
How we
bubble
hang them.
gum on the barbershop floor?
Oh, yeah, that was one of my dumb jokes.
That old trick.
That old-
back
that
to
old dumb
Chad,
joke?
though.
That
Wait.
old trick.
Back
I've
to
seen that a
Chad.
lot.
So
I've seen that a
Hercules
lot in
handshake.
photos
How does
in
that
the
joke go?
background of photos.
Hercules
don't know that?
handshake.
No, what is it?
It's when someone pops a ball out and just like throw it anywhere. It's like and then what they call like have you seen? It's like a gumball on the barbershop floor, so it has hair all over it, and it's a chewed up gumball. Which is balls.
I used to say that I was hung like a piece of bubble gum on a barbershop floor. That's what I'm working with here.
That's a pretty
Yeah.
good.
I'd
a
much rather
classic.
hear about your
When-
Hercules handshake than
when-
your gumdrop. Whatever.
There's a
I'm,
Dang, penis shaming already?
and when I'm hard, it's like a baby carrot. So, yeah.
Oh, you must have a big dick.
So you
It's only
came on
big
this-
guys joke about having little dick. I know your secret.
He's not wearing pants. That's
no. There's
We've all
a
known.
there's
Now
like
you know,
photo.
y'all know where my eyes are gonna be for the rest of it. Don't
Anyone hungry for
Mel
carrot
C,
soup?
We should
How about
we should
carrot
have
and gum, man?
a table that's like see through so we can see that shit. You
One
know what I
day.
mean? Take it back.
Look at the
Well, let's
Take
just
back
go to
that
our
night.
under table camera.
But
We need one of those.
no, I had there's a photo of me and like one of my best friends, like younger, we're like on our steps and we're just like looking all hard, and we have our like dog who's a puppy at the time, and it's all black and white, and it looks like you look at it and you're like, oh, look at these kids. We're like 20, and but if you look hard enough, you see my friend Mike McDonald, aka Chicken McDonald. Fuck you for
Chicken,
not
I've
calling
met
me
him.
back for a long time. You know Chicken.
Yeah.
So you can see his balls, or just one of them. It's like floating between our heads, just above it. You know, it's like but it's in the dark. But if you gotta look hard enough, and you'll see it.
That's awesome.
And it was displayed in Davis, California, at an art show.
Floating
Photographer
ball?
didn't. Yeah, he didn't really realize
that
it
he's
until
just like-
later.
I'm so into my photography that I didn't see a
I think-
testicle.
It was me and Mike were like, and Ruben the dog were such the focus that Chicken's ball sack was not noticeable.
And
Fuck you, Chicken.
That's how you met Chad?
And that's how I met Chad.
Hercules handshake. I'm sorry, I rudely
the
interrupted.
picture.
I want to hear.
That was
yeah.
it.
Was that at
I shook his
Westside?
hand like that. I was working at Westside, and Chad works there too. And I've seen him. I probably first saw him do the Mission Improbable. Probably like that seems more likely because
Probably.
you. I don't think you were bartending then, were you? Or if you were, it
I
wasn't.
bartended for a spell, and then when I did cruise ships and had come back, I immediately started doing the MI show, and then had to wait a while to get back on the bartender.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I've probably seen that. So
you
funny.
did improv on cruise
What's that like?
Yeah, how
Yeah.
cruise ships.
It was.
Was it MI on cruise
It
ships?
wasn't. I was with the Second City on cruise ships, so doing mainly like archive sketch stuff. But we had a couple like short form sets that we'd do as well. So we would have like a family friendly one where just big dumb goofy characters, and you end up learning to like play smarter, so you don't have to go for dick jokes all the time. But then we would have like the adult friendly set was like the last night of the cruise, so then we got to play those fun games like sex with me is like blah blah blah, or
That's always fun.
yeah, those are you get to after they like see you all week, then you earn the dirty nasty at the end of the cruise.
Was it like a show a night or several shows a night?
Sometimes it was never more than 2 shows in a night.
That's awesome.
But most
How
of the
long
time
was the cruise? Was it like 3 or a week?
I would
days a
go.
week?
It would vary. The first contract would go from New York to the Eastern Caribbean and back, so that would be 9 days.
And
so
you got just paid to do that and do comedy. That's so awesome.
it was. As I told my mother, I was working really hard on my tan.
So in that 9 days,
Yeah.
how many days did you? How many nights did you work?
So in that 9 days, I would go. We'd leave New York. We're at sea for 2 days. Then we get to San Juan on the 3rd day. Usually that night we would do 2 shows.
Puerto Rico.
So in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And then the next night the next day we're in St. Martin, and we did not have a show that night. The next
And you're
day
able to go out.
Yeah, so I would go to the islands and, like I said, work really hard on my tan and drink tequila out of a bucket.
So far we're
Puerto Rico
4
sounds
or
like
5
heaven.
days into the trip, and you've worked 2 days.
Yeah. And then we, on the way back, then we go to Dominican Republic for a day, a place called Samana, and then back on the ship. And then I would work like the next day was kind of a heavy lifting day because we had like a murder mystery lunch, and usually the seas were not in our favor. Like when we went out, it was literally a week after Hurricane Sandy, so there were still loads of hurricanes going through.
Oh, shit.
Like the first time I'm doing this murder mystery show in like it's like the little French restaurant that's on the ship. Like the ship is listing back and forth, so I'm delivering my lines.
Does that not add to it
Yeah.
though? The suspense.
Yeah, the suspense in the afternoon when there's plenty of daylight in there, but it's it's a
But
really.
can I ask you, like, doing sorry to interrupt, but doing like shows like that right after something like Hurricane Sandy, where it's like a devastation, do you have to work harder to get laughs, or are they ready to laugh more because they just want to forget what's happening?
Those audiences, it's kind of weird because like I would watch the stand-up comedians and the audiences are just into whatever dumb jokes they were. Like this one comedian
Does
would,
it make you so mad?
and I'm like, I'm looking around, I'm
It
like,
makes me so mad. It's
What
like
the
you're
fuck?
not listening.
this guy isn't funny at all. He's talking about his kid pissing all over the bathroom. That's not funny. That's gross. But these people are really fucking into it and just kind of looking all around. So then, like when we, doing the short form sets, you're in a space that's like a cabaret space. It's like in the round. So there's like 300 people, and doing short form for 300 people is pretty. I mean, I'm not gonna say easy, but like you don't have to do much. You just have to, be honest and be big, and then it happens so quickly too. Hey, this is this thing that we're about to do. Let me explain this thing that we're about to do. Now we just did the thing that we did. Oh, they did exactly what they told us we were gonna do.
Yeah, and that's the greatest thing. That makes people so, and even with stand-ups on the road or like in a cruise setting, it's like it's because they're not. It's hard for us to think of people that are just out there not trying to do what we're doing, and they're like, "Oh, you think that's funny? Oh, because you mow your lawn every week. I
I'm
don't
on my
do
own
that.
lawn.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's-
Like,
and they're also, not to belittle the cruise populace, but like they save for all year round to go on this
go on a cruise.
vacation. So,
but I also
good
want
on
to say
them.
I went on a cruise a couple of times.
Here's an ashtray.
Is this lit?
Yeah.
As a young adult, and I love, like, people will talk shit about cruises, but I love cruises, and I wanted to, like, I was very sad when we left the cruise, but then I wanted to work on the cruise, because then, I mean, you have a vacation and you're doing whatever, but that show, like, everyone loves the stand-up comedian. You don't have to work that hard,
Right.
but you're still doing good work because they are there because they want to be there.
Yeah.
They're on vacation.
They can
They
do
already
anything
have
they
the
want.
mindset
Yeah.
of, I want to have a good time. This is going to be a good show
Right.
because it's free already. Like, it feels
Yeah.
free in the thing, and
This is the entertainment
they
for
signed
tonight.
up.
Yeah, everyone's on a ship to like be entertained. My brother, like him and his wife, they just live by it. They go on like 2 or 3 cruises a year, and that's just like that's what they wait for. That and
It was
football.
really fun. Even as like I was under the age of drinking, and it's like a contained vacation that you can go travel, but you still
Yeah.
have a room.
It's a floating city, and
Yeah, these ships are huge, right?
they're fucking enormous, and you never feel more insignificant as far as the Earth goes when you're on this giant moving vessel, and you look out and you see no land, and it's just all sea, and it's the dark of night. You're like, oh wow, we're really tiny.
I think I can relate to when I went to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
And I was at
absolutely.
the edge of the Grand Canyon, and I was just
You
like,
felt so
oh,
small.
I'm an
It's scary.
Yeah.
What is this? It's scary, but I'm gonna go for more scary.
But can we talk about the dangers of cruises?
You know what?
How people go missing?
You know what? This is what
international water,
sad.
baby.
I'm all, there's 5 people ever been missing.
My
from
daughter,
cruises.
Mila.
Constantly they're missing.
Mila, I wanted to take her out to a cruise this year, and I ended up not doing it because I had this whole situation happen or whatnot.
Situation.
Beeper holster.
But
Beeper holster.
yeah, a Wi-Fi,
Ankle beeper.
Ross perfume, whatever. Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Ross perfume.
Yeah,
Well, you hold
to smell
high.
like a Ross dress for
Hi.
less.
No, yeah. But no, so I wanted to take Mila, and then one day I was just like Googling Disney, like I want to take her on the Disney cruise.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a lot of accidents, and you never hear about them, and that's kind of crazy.
When you got
Like,
money, you can hide
What
that
kind
shit.
of accidents?
you and I Googled them. I couldn't even really mention them for like
Mickey's
word per word, but there were people.
So it's
Well,
like
if it's Disney, I guarantee you they're gonna do all they can to pay to get it out of the media.
So it's
like
like
some,
an X
like
Man
people have
situation.
died
They own all the
in.
media.
And that's the
Yeah.
only cruise that I would like as my first cruise. That would be it. If I'm gonna break that ice, it's
Dude, go
gonna be
Caribbean.
with my
It was
daughter
cool.
doing something she likes. My daughter went to Disneyland last week. She's 3. She got on Space Mountain.
Dude, I said that to
She's so
people, and they're
tall,
like,
though.
"How
Like a
old is she?"
G.
And I was like, 4 or something.
She's 3.
But
She's
I was
tall,
like,
though.
"But she's
I wasn't
tall."
even that
But I
tall.
was that.
3, but she's tall and
she
she
took
likes
it.
it.
Yeah.
And she came home and she's like, "Mom, I'm a down baby." Like,
Yeah, she called herself a down baby.
She
A
told
down
Eric
baby?
And, she told
She's a
Eric
down
and I,
baby.
she's like, "Guys, I went on Space Mountain. I went into space, and I'm a down baby."
That's hilarious.
She knows. She listens, and she knows.
Oh yeah, because her
Kids
dad
are
called me.
parrots.
He's like, "She's down." Like Andrew called me. He's like, "You went on Space Mountain."
She's cooler than the both of you guys. That's why I'm afraid to have a kid, because I don't want to have a kid that's cooler than me. You know what
You
I mean?
know
It's
you're
like,
going
Hey, you know
to.
what?
I
She
just got
outshines me
cool.
everywhere,
I
but
just
it's
got
like,
comfortable with who I am anyway. You know what I mean? And this little
Right.
shit's gonna
That's my
show me
doing.
up. No,
My child.
you're
says,
not gonna exist. That's
"Excuse
my
me,
power.
Pardon me. These fucking chicken are getting on my nerves." My child,
She did say that. It was
She
hilarious.
said these chickadees are no more.
they were getting they were getting on her
No,
nerves
so they're
because they
getting on
kept
the
on
nerves.
stepping on her shoes,
Which
and
they
she
weren't.
said-
She heard her mom say it.
She heard me say they're stepping on my shoes. I said that, and then she ran away. She's like, "These chickens are getting on my nerves." We're like,
She's a little.
She is so dramatic.
She's too much already. Yeah, I tell her, get out of here, dude. You're not welcome back.
Yeah, right. You're her homie.
Nah, she's fun. I was reading the
She's
Bible
fun.
to her the other day.
Don't do that.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
he was
Stop
reading the
it.
Bible so intense.
You were just
Stop.
practicing your voices, right?
And she
Kind
goes-
of, but I was just
she
reading
goes
the
to
Bible. I was
church.
practicing
So that's
reading
the
out
funniest
loud.
thing is that I don't go to church. She goes to
She
church
goes
with
to
her dad's
church. What does she
family.
think about church?
She goes to Sunday school. So like I went to jail again. So when I got out of jail, like the first couple weeks that I was out, one day I went over there to pick her up, and she's telling me about the story of Olivia, which I have no fucking clue who the fuck Olivia is. The story of Olivia is she was very hospitable. And I asked her, I said, what is hospitable? And Mila said she invited her friends over her house and she fed them. Right? So I'm like, you know, I'm impressed. My 3-year-old she is very much telling me somebody was hospitable, but the way she said it, hospitable.
I thought she was like a brothel madam or something, but you know, different Bible stories.
That sounds good. I mean, I don't.
That's like Ruth or something.
That's just one of those other Sarahs.
But when that word hospitable is in my 3-year-old's vocabulary, I don't give a fuck what she learned.
Oh, that's
she
great.
was the only one in her class that's like plus 12 to be able to pronounce that word. So that shit's cool.
That's because you don't. Here's my theory about kids. You don't talk to them like they're kids. You talk to them like normal fucking beings, and then
No, I don't let her win games.
and then they can and
That's you.
fucking bully them. But can I talk about every 30 seconds, especially I'm at work because I work at a sports bar. Ooh, that Tennessee is catching up. I see
can tell both you
Chad.
girls are wasted.
Am I getting drunk? I see Chad. I see Chad on the
I see Chad.
commercials all the time.
Chad's always doing these.
My dad's in a commercial.
Actually, I have queued up one of my favorite Chad moments.
Is that your hair?
This is pretty
Oh shit! Do we have a Chad moment?
Yeah, this is a really good one, I think. So we'll put it up.
I don't even have this on my reel yet because I don't know.
It's hilarious.
Art can give it to you.
Caused a tanker truck to jackknife across 3 lanes and crash into the center divider. We have a witness here who saw the entire event unfold. Sir, can you tell us what happened? Grab her right in the pussy. Okay. Grab her in the pussy.
And they songified him. That you have to watch that episode.
They auto-tuned me.
Yeah, that was so good.
I don't even think I've seen that clip.
Oh man,
Like that, somebody told me like, you sound great auto-tune. I'm like, okay, because I didn't have this last year when it aired. Like some people just kept sending me clips of the first one because there's one in there before he remixes it. Right?
Yeah, there's the just like a montage of him, and you started off, and it's so good. I was like, oh, that's Chad, and then he like just the way you're like waiting for it, like it's so good.
In the actual script, here's some little BTS for AHS. It was
Behind the scenes for all of you that don't know.
Dang, man.
American Horror Stories for the rest of you that do not know.
Yeah, for the
where that
other
clip
part.
was from. It was actually fucker in the pussy. And the casting gal, she's like, I'm so excited for you. You get to say fuck on national television. I'm like, oh yeah, my grandma's gonna be super happy with that one. But
like-
then the director on day of, she's like, let's use Grab because Grab was what?
Yeah.
It's in the news.
Fucking 45, 86, 45. Get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
That's what
that's what he was saying. That's what he said.
I was wondering what
what
that
he
was.
does.
I was like, what year did something happen in that? I was trying to do.
I just thought he was celebrating my birthday, like 86. I was born in 86. I figured it was just
Happy
like he just
birthday.
knows me so
Yeah.
well.
What,
You
April
turn-
5th?
So you turned 45 in 12 years?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang,
boom.
and he's good at
Quick
math.
math.
See,
Boom.
so if you guys want to be
Good
actors
math,
and
such good math.
allowed to cuss on national television, you better learn your math.
Learn your
Know
math
your
first.
math.
So when did you start acting, Chad?
Professionally or
No, just in school.
Just in school.
Just in your mind. I want to know first when in
Who
your
was your
mind.
first
My
character?
mind. Well, I think the first time that I started sort of collaborating and making sketches was in elementary school. I was a bit of I don't know. I'd get my work done and I would just annoy the teachers, so they would send me down the hall, and I was with these creative types. It was like the enrichment class, but I wasn't smart enough to get into the enrichment class. I was just like outgoing and whatever. So we did
You
this
were
thing.
just like almost there.
Almost there.
They didn't. You were like a size in between.
I think
you know?
I took the test and they weren't supposed to tell me the score, but then my mom told me the score. She's like, "You missed it by a quarter of a point." Yeah, shit. So like I sometimes remember that test in my head, like, oh, that was my first moment of failure. Anyway, so it was,
but not the last.
Like your first
not the
audition.
last. Oh, no.
First audition.
It was my first audition. So this thing called Odyssey of the Mind. So we would have to. We had like a problem that we had to solve, and then thematically have to have like a sketch from that. And I didn't know what the fuck thematically meant when I was in third grade. and first
I did
started
it when
doing
you
that.
said it. I was like, what does that mean?
What is he talking about?
Did he fuck up math? I thought he said mathematically wrong.
You said math, and then he was like, I don't know what anything means after you say that word.
So, for instance, we would have to build these like balsa wood structures, and then they would have to hold weight that we'd put on them. So, I was never a part of that. It was usually I was a part of like okay, what's a good idea here that is within this theme? So one year, for instance, it was do more with less, meaning you got more points if you had less weight or less structure within your thing. So thematically, how can we do more with less? And it was around the mid 80s. There's like the Revenge of the Nerds. I'm like, haha, let's do a surfing competition where the nerds have a dumb floppy board but end up doing really good, and the jocks have a really cool board. And this is in the middle of fucking Missouri, so what the hell do I know about surfing other than what I've seen, on in Point Break.
Yeah. What
That
about
probably wasn't out yet.
dude.
Gilligan's Island? They had a surfer there.
Did they?
Yeah, someone surfed onto the island. I remember, like, oh.
So that was probably like 5th grade or so, and we did really well at the state level and went through the national competition in Washington D.C. So I remember like, oh, cool, this is a big city. I kind of like it. So that was when I first, really thinking back on it.
Oh my god!
But
Brady guy.
but then I didn't have it. We didn't have a theater department in my high school until my junior year, because if you didn't play football, you're clearly one of them effing queers, which they called me all of the time.
Did that change? I'm sorry. Did that change?
What part of Missouri did you grow up in?
Is that different now?
Smack dab in the middle of Missouri. Effing queers.
Are we calling you guys
So
something
Nelly
different
wasn't
now?
welcome.
Is that is
Nelly
there a new
wasn't
term?
welcome, right?
I was not welcome with my. There was a lot of like narrow-mindedness shit in the middle of nowhere, Missouri.
I can
surprise,
imagine.
surprise. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's and then I went to college doing theater, and then after that,
Where'd you go for college? Missouri State?
I went to it was
really?
actually. Well, then it was called Southwest Missouri State University. So then in like the year 2000, they changed it to Missouri State University, which is in Springfield, Missouri.
So Nelly was nowhere near where you were from.
I don't know what a Nelly is.
He's a Saint lunatic.
Oh,
Nelly.
She? Nelly Furtado?
Nelly was a rapper. He's
Nelly
famous
the
for the
rapper,
song E-I-E-I-O-O. What's poppin' tonight?
Oh, okay.
Or my Air Force
Country
Ones.
Grandma.
Is that the same song?
No, I think his most famous song is "It's Getting Hot in Her." Take off all those clothes.
Close.
Oh, okay. Is he from St. Useless?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Saint Useless. That's awesome.
My family's
Not a Rams fan, huh?
Yeah, no. My family's on the Kansas
Ram
City
it.
side.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's...
Oh shit.
Yeah, I
You're
was,
one of those.
He's a chief.
hells yeah, I'm a chief.
Oh shit. She did. There.
Oh, no.
Should we address the game
Is there
today?
baseball drama happening
There's
here,
a baseball
guys?
game happening today.
Yeah.
I have to say I have a Dodgers shirt on, but I want them to lose today.
Yeah, is that Serafina Costanza on
Okay.
Instagram? You can
Yeah, you
send
can
her your
you can
hate.
do that.
Hey,
Because
take that shirt off.
No,
you
what?
know why?
It's
I'm
not
going to
that
tell you
kind
a
of
history
podcast.
about this shirt, though. I'm going to tell you about this shirt.
No, I don't want to even hear about it. You
And
said,
first of
nah,
all, I
why
need them
would
to
you
lose
ever?
because
Why
I
would you
need them
ever
to
do that
play
bad juju
tomorrow.
to me in
I need them to
public?
play tomorrow because I'm bartending tomorrow, and that means money for me. I need it. Fuck you, dude. I need to make money. That's really hateful. I'm
You guys
so
go
happy
down
that
to
you
see
are.
Serafina tomorrow at
Do you see
West
how the
4th and J.
Dodgers fans how they deal with their life? Like we're good
Why are you
friends.
saying
but she's
they
like,
and pointing?
Yeah.
because
don't
this
like
one
that.
right here is being very.
Fuck your finger.
Ew,
No, fuck it.
Not, once again, not that kind of podcast.
But
So
anyway,
anyways,
I
Chad
need them
just
to
graduated
lose.
college.
And then the last time I wore this shirt, so I got this shirt for free. And when I first moved to LA, I had to go get my car fixed. And I walked in, I was wearing this shirt, and I didn't really care that much. Like, I'm a Giants fan, but I had this shirt. And, you know, when you need to clothes, when you need clothes, you need clothes. So I was wearing this shirt, and I walked in there, and I was thinking about, like, taking this shirt and, like, putting an X over it just to have a protest shirt. No. But I walked into this place, and they're like, oh, man, Dodgers? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, they gave me a huge discount to work on my car because I was a Dodgers fan. And I was like,
Protest shirt.
fuck yeah, saving money. So that means that's why I'm wearing the shirt today, because it's going to make me money tomorrow. Go Dodgers to lose today, and then I don't care, win tomorrow. I don't care. Make me money.
Well, there you have it from Serafina.
Bam.
Serafina, she just wants that money.
She just wants the money. She's a typical Republican.
Fuck you.
What, I bet you own a house in Glendale,
Yeah,
too.
you probably do.
I don't live in Glendale, but I
Homeowner,
do
get
own
out
a
of here.
But I work hard for that
You don't
shit.
know our struggle?
I work hard.
That's good. And so did Chad at Missouri State.
University. Such alumni, Kathleen Turner and John Goodman.
John Goodman.
Yeah.
Oh, Serafina got a rage
Let's
attack
not.
at me earlier.
Oh, because
I
of
don't-
John Goodman?
Yes.
No.
because she brought up the Connors. And
I
then-
said, did you watch it?
And then I said, hell no, because I don't like what they did. You're an actor. What do you think? I think they kind of stole
What's
her
your
show
take?
from her.
What's your take on the
They should have just
Roseanne?
moved on with something
Wait,
else.
ask him without
I am.
telling
You're right,
your
you're right.
opinion.
Chad, what do you think?
I kind of.
Because you don't even know my opinion.
We don't want you to lose your SAG
because
card
it's
or
not
anything.
the opposite of that, and it's not in agreement.
I think.
Let Chad speak.
I mean, it was her show, what, 10, 20 years ago. So if she's being like a horrible shit and being like racist and being very vocal about it, and ABC doesn't want that to be part of their brand, then they have the fucking right to pull it from her and make a spin-off from it. Like, they own the rights to that show, so they can spin it off, do whatever the fuck they want with it reimagined. So I guess they're just covering their own asses.
The weird thing to me is they should have known, like, they knew what type of person Roseanne was and what she
Right.
was very vocal. Like, they knew what she was interested in and what her opinions are and how she used Twitter and how she, like, what her public persona was, and they decided to give her to her show. But then when they
totally
get flack
agree with
for
that.
it, they're like, nah, we're going to take, like, that was the one thing that was weird to me. It's like, you knew who you got in bed with.
And
Like,
I totally agree with that. It's like when she sung the national anthem and she got backlash for that. I was like, you asked Roseanne to do that, and I totally agree with that. But at the same time, the national anthem is her doing something, and then with this show, I think she hadn't done anything in a minute. I don't think that was like too crazy. And then with this show, I think there's an understanding that it's not just you. There's a community involved in it, and you're signing up for more than that.
Well, and I didn't watch the revamp that was on last year, but
Yeah, I haven't
from
seen
what
Did you watch the original? Were you a fan?
I did. Yeah, and I watched it. Well, I don't know about saying that I was a fan of it. It was something that was on because you didn't have.
There's like 13 channels.
Yeah, you didn't have the luxury of choice back then, so it was you watch it.
Well, in the
because it was-
scheme of now, for
Yeah, it's like
sure.
that or
Exactly.
America's Funniest Videos. Like there's two
Yeah.
things going on right now.
But like,
Or books.
you know, from my understanding, it was they wanted
I love
to.
books.
They wanted to explore the dynamic that all of the families are going through. It was like, oh, well, shit, we've got this one guy who's a fucking Trump supporter. How do we deal with that? So I feel like they dealt with that in a real way. And that's why ABC's like, okay, yeah, there are people out there that did vote for this motherfucker. And they do have families that did not vote for this motherfucker. So that is something marketable that we can explore. And I think that's why
I mean,
they
I don't know.
do it.
Well, I think-
Honestly, I'm always tired of hearing about Trump because it's just like he's the only fool that came out there that like gave everybody else with their secret thoughts to like act out. And I'd much rather everybody just be vocal about what it is that they feel and agree to disagree, because you can't just hate everyone
Sure.
for believing in
Sure,
such
but
person.
they
how shitty that
activated
because
a
some people are
a
also
small
afraid
act
of some people are
community.
also afraid of letting go of their beliefs for so long.
Yes.
And
my God.
stating that, oh, I'm wrong about this situation, and I'm just you're gonna ride until the real wrong, right, or indifferent. If my best friend is in a fucking, if I have to choose a side, I'm gonna do it, whether he's right, or indifferent. And if people are not gonna want to get away from their views, so you can't like also just shame people for supporting a person because everybody's allowed to.
I don't know. There's
steer
a
the
time
ship in a different
there's
direction.
the time and the place for shame.
Yeah,
I
Shame's
guess.
cool. Shame's. I like Shameless. Great show.
for me, it's usually right when I wake up. That's when I have the most shame.
I've got a shame boner again.
I wake up so
you grew up
happy, like
Christian
damn, I
too,
got
huh?
lit last night. I feel like brand new.
Can we
I
talk
don't know
about
if
shame?
that's
Like
ever gonna
Art,
run
you
out.
seem to be feeling real good right now and not drunk. But can we talk about the on the road here?
Yeah, I had a rough night. I don't remember most of it. Melania
I remember all of
can
it.
know it. My girlfriend told me a little bit about it because I called her and tried to bully her into crank calling a bar.
You didn't try. You didn't try. You forced her as I was rolling a blunt, and then I gave you my blunt, and you smoked half my blunt while talking about how you were like, I'm gonna give her a baby, and if she doesn't do this, like I don't know.
Oh
I
shit!
don't even know. Like I don't want her to fail this test. Like please.
She's gotta have my. She's
Yo.
gotta do this. That was
My
the
favorite-
test.
hey, my
You
favorite
bitch.
That's how I choose who I
Yeah,
impregnate. I guess if you'll make a crank
my
call for me.
favorite part about this
on a
was
drunken
that,
request.
like, as I'm rolling this blunt, Van Halen, Janie's Crying is coming on, right? And Art goes, "Do you even know who this is?" Mind you, in my head, I know who the fuck this. I don't know who the fuck this is, but I know this fucking song, so fuck you. That's all that matters. That I never saw, right? But I'm in my head about it. And then like, but my fucking Big Bertha minivan is all, you know, with the, you know, I know all the things. So my radio told me that it was Van Halen, right? So I looked at Art and I was like, it's Van Halen. And he's like, oh, how'd you know that? And I pointed it to the radio, right? And like then this fool, like we're listening to it and he goes, whoa, 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 Katie's crying. And I'm like, oh, you're such a jerk, because he's like, he totally was like big devil, medium angel.
So drunk. He's so drunk.
He said that, he's like, fuck, I can't believe I put her through this test, but I really want her to pass this test. And then Katie goes, fine. She goes, I don't want to be this asshole to do this. And she does it. And my dad, so he had called, he did it. He's like, I don't want her to fail. Look at how easy this was. Right? He's yelling. He's like stating his case to me.
Such a fucking patriarch.
No.
Fucking
So he does it.
asshole.
I don't know what that word means.
He does it and Michelle answers and he's like, oh. Is Rod there? She goes, yep. Maz is calling. Click. He goes, see? How hard was that?
Sorry for that, Michelle.
I am just really unraveling and unpacking the dynamic of the relationship between the three of you now,
Oh,
right?
well, yeah, because I'm telling Katie I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm telling Art to stop, and he's like, I want her to pass this test. And I'm like,
So
who am I
drunk.
to tell my homie to
Well,
stop?
I also want to
drunk.
point out that I was fed liquor all day for like
I
12
did.
hours.
Oh, wait.
They just
I
kept
saw
giving
You know
me
what, you
shots,
guys?
and I'm like,
No.
I wasn't driving.
Not only liquor. Listen, we fucking Art taught me. Give me some matches. Who's got some matches in their pocket? Art taught me some valuable of adult
Matches.
information. He taught me how to like woo a girl with matches,
Oh,
and we
the light on
smoked.
flip
Yes,
down part?
and we smoked out of a lemon. And I bought a weed shot
And
that
Art
was
has no
strawberry
idea.
flavored. So
Art
we
this
drank.
morning was like, how did I
we
get
drank
home? He's at my
weed.
house.
We
I've
would-
never seen Art so hungover.
Yo, we drank
I've
weed
never.
medicine. We
Yeah, she
drank
gave me a
rum.
weed shot. I remember that
We drank
now.
Irish car
Like
bombs.
concentrate.
Somebody bought us Jack Daniels. We drank a bunch of MGDs.
So Art's fucking on death's door. He worked this morning. He
Went to work
calls
like
me.
a champion.
I talked to him on the phone.
Handle
I'm
my
like, "Are you
responsibility.
sick?" He's like, "No, I'm just hungover." And I was like,
went
"You
to court,
sound like
homie.
a dick. Like, what's happening?" Then he shows up to my house. He's like, "What the fuck's happening?" He's like throwing up. I'd give him water, smoke him out.
Well,
He's like
I threw
throwing
up earlier that day, but I hadn't thrown up at
Do
Seraphina's
you
house.
know how hard it was for
We
me to get him
drive
out of
here.
my car to get him in an Uber?
Dude, we drive here. We have to pull. He pulls over on
You
the
didn't throw up in
freeway.
the Uber,
He
did
pulls
you?
over on the freeway on where you can go off. So he's throwing up in the middle of like cars going by us
10
and
freeway.
on both sides. On both sides of
coming
him.
back here this
Yeah,
afternoon.
Yeah.
that's how you know you're from Los Angeles.
So
you
then
throw
I
up on
started driving,
the 10 freeway.
and then we get here. He's starting to feel a little bit better. We walk in. Melcy's just cooking like nothing happened. She's just like a G. She's like, "Oh, you need to know about last night? I'll tell you about last
Well,
night."
because I worked,
like
so
she,
I got him
have no
high
idea.
and fucked up. Okay, but like we smoked blunt.
I saw him at 7,
we
and
did
he was. I
things.
was like, "Are you driving?" He was like, "No."
He didn't even
That's
have
why
a car.
I'm drinking
I picked
so
him
much.
up.
That's what
I went to see. Look, this is
responsible.
like I'm responsible. I'm a G, dude. I woke up yesterday, did laundry, made banana pancakes for my kid, went to see my PO, came over here, fucking fed the chickens, bonded, took these fools to my job. My daughter went home with my babysitter, aka my dad, aka my boss.
Bonded with the chickens.
The chickies.
So we
bond with
yeah,
them, man.
we
You
got
got a
our
bond
chickens.
with
You
them?
gotta
We're
hold
gonna let you.
on.
We're gonna let
Do
you
you want to
hold
hold
them later.
one?
Yeah, you're gonna bomb.
He's from Missouri. He's probably held a chicken.
I have
Don't be
more
so
fish than
scared.
chicken.
Oh, okay.
Where I grew up in Lake.
You're like
So-
a streaming guy, or like
Yeah.
But then I got this full lit, and then we went out on a mesh. We rallied, dude.
I
We
played.
rallied.
I
Chad,
played darts.
when's the last night you had a night like that?
Whoa.
You could be honest or not honest.
Be honest. Come on, you're from the Midwest. You gotta have those nights.
Oh, I've certainly had those nights. It's probably been, I'd say wait a sec. I took a trip to see my cousin and my uncle last May up to Bellingham, Washington.
that
Fucking
sounds
gorgeous.
like a drinking combination.
It was, well, I mean, ganja's legal there too, so
Oh,
we were
okay.
just like
Smoking it up.
all todos los días, and like we went to a couple beer fests, a couple whiskey fests. It just seemed like
A whiskey fest?
Yeah,
that
That's a
sounds
fun.
hard.
Bellingham's a fun
Has
town.
anybody been to Oktoberfest this year yet?
No, they're kind of lame.
Yeah.
I went to the Harbor Fright Night at Queen Mary.
What was that
Oh
like?
yeah, how's
Pretty
that?
cool, actually. I usually am not into that shit.
You're like,
Like haunted stuff or
No, not the concept, like the maze, the haunted mazes and stuff.
yeah, where people
Like,
just pop out.
why? Because
They
you don't like to be scared.
I let's see. I'm scared with the fact that I don't have any job security as an actor, so that fright is enough to have me sustained with actual like jump scares.
Should you try to do that though?
That was
Maybe
my
you
next.
should get in there.
Yeah, that was my next question. Was like, have you ever had to do that? Like, as an actor, have you ever worked at one of those things?
I worked at one. The last show that I did in Chicago was called The Awesome 80s Prom. So it's basically an interactive John Hughes movie. And
That sounds pretty cool.
It was,
Sounds
it
like
was,
my dream. I was
it
just
was
gonna
pretty
say,
fucking
like,
fun.
I
I'm not
wanna be
gonna
there.
lie, because it's a bunch of people that like. They maybe were bullied in the 80s, so they weren't able to be their true selves at their prom. So a bunch of people that just come out that like go to prom and just have a fucking blast, and like it's some great music and people are dancing and they can drink and it's all interactive. I mean, there's a very specific through line to it, and when anybody has the mic in their hand on stage, there is a very specific scripted bit. Except for me, my job was. When the director handed me, he's like, "You're basically the quarterback that graduated 5 years ago that comes back to host the prom because it's his favorite thing." So he's half like bad stand up, check, got it, no problem there, and he's half like radio DJ. So I would. This is DJ Johnny Hughes. Welcome to the Wanna Get High Senior Prom. That was the name of it. Wanna Get High.
Dude, that's so awesome.
DJ Johnny Hughes, I'm here all night for yous.
Are you?
I'm on a date with a guy that sounded like that.
No way.
Oh, for real?
That
From
works.
Wisconsin.
You wanna revisit that date? Just right now,
yeah.
just as a role play?
Just the worst. That's the worst.
What was it like?
Yeah. Did you guys want to get some Portillos?
Yeah, Portillo.
Want to get some
I was
Portillos?
watching CNN and they're interviewing this guy from Chicago, and Andy goes, "Is like,
Are you
oh
paying?
god, that is such a Chicago accent." Like he was having like a physical reaction to this accent because it
As
was
if his
so
bully
thick.
like had that accent and beat the shit out of him, so he was.
No, well, he's from Chicago, and
Flashback.
his dad and brother and kind of mom have like this accent, but he always wanted to not have that. I think he knew he was
Fail,
going
Andy,
to go
you have
to a
it.
warmer
Yeah.
place. And he said that he told me before that he tried to speak like the news, the weather people.
Like Weatherman?
That's kind of.
because you go to Chicago to make it to the sunny places after that.
Yeah, my brother kind of has a sort of Midwestern kind of accent where it's basically just swallowing lottery words. Like you're never actually
Lottery words.
You're swallowing
Like
words.
the ranch on Netflix.
Closer to Ozark on Netflix because it was the actual Lake of the Ozarks was where I grew up.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
The I thought the
shit.
Ozarks were like in Georgia. I'm stupid.
They shot some
Well-
of the show in there, but it takes place in the middle of nowhere, Missouri.
Whoa, I
Yeah.
had no
Missouri.
idea.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they're-
interesting.
they
Missouri?
have
Is that how
different-
you say it?
Missouri.
That's-
I think.
Missouri.
I've been saying it wrong as fuck.
Well, there's a great Simpsons bit where it's the like Huck Finn send up. So it's Nelson and Bart going down the river. It says, "Thank you for visiting Missouri. Now welcome to Missouri." So half of the state pronounces it one way, the other half pronounces it the other. So I've said Missouri my entire life. It's only been lately when I just say Missouri
yeah, that sounds cool.
and spit on the ground. But I kind of got rid of it. I mean, I think I have like an American, just colloquial, neutral accent,
Yeah.
and that's because of like voice classes in college and stuff like that. Just to be conscious of what it sounds like coming out of my dumb face. If that makes any sense.
So once you go through those classes, you have to constantly think about it, or does it natural? You just kind of like flow into
I
it.
think for the most part it's natural, unless I'm hanging around like my brother and his friends, and we've just had like 3 or 4 pints, and then we're never going
Pints.
anywhere. We're like going somewhere, or like we're going fishing. You know, we're not going fishing. Going fishing. You know, just
Yeah.
like dropping off a lot of
I
diphthongs.
feel
And
like
then
there
it
was a
takes
lot
you a
of like
minute
in
to
the
get out of it.
eyebrows there, like going fishing and then going fishing. Like it was like we're doing this shit. Like it's going down.
Well, there's an
Are we
intention.
going fishing?
Yeah.
We're going fishing. Yeah. You're right, Art. Thanks for noticing that.
So once you hang out with them, is it hard to get out of it, or it's just like who
No.
you're around, and it's just like
No,
you kind of
it's-
go?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have kind of there's like an improv trick where if you mirror the energies, so I think I've naturally done that my entire life, just to kind of like blend in a little bit, to maybe not look or sound like a dipshit from the Ozarks. So, you know, if I'm hanging around a bunch of guys from Chicago, oh yeah, sure, we'll do the Polish sausage here. That's, I mean, maybe not that. As that. We're from Oak Park. Can't you tell by my accent?
Yes.
No. Right.
Yeah.
Oak Park.
You do like a New Yorker?
Which part of New York are you?
That's
New Jersey. It's easy.
What?
Specific.
The Bronx.
Okay, Bronx. Let me.
The New Bronx.
The Bronx.
classic
Don't
Bronx.
be into it.
So like, I played this character once. His name was Joe Hardy, and he was from Brooklyn. He wasn't like very smart or nothing, but he really loved his ma. So I think that's kind of where I go for him. I don't know if that's good or not.
That's really good.
That's awesome,
That's
man.
really
Sweet
good.
mama's boy from the Bronx. Oh, you're getting in the pants for sure.
It's like, oh, I like this dirty guy.
Can you do that again? No.
Oh shit! It's the NYC for
The
the
Hennessy's just
milk.
open up, right?
Oh
You know, I'm
shit!
Puerto Rican.
Hennessy,
You know, I have a thing for
NYC
Yeah,
Melcy. It's all rhyming.
Makes sense.
All right, can you do like the hickey shit? Because I used to work at a movie theater, and in the summer I would be like, I would do like a southern accent, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm just joking. I'm from here." And they're like, "No, real." I'm like, "No, for real. I'm from Davis, California." Like,
You're
it's
from
fine.
fucking Davis.
Yep. she's a
Before
northern
I
girl.
was from the,
Northerner.
I'm a northerner. That's the best.
Serafina, could you be more specific with your southern shit?
My
suggestion?
southern shit, like Alabama, like do some southern.
Feel like in Alabama, like that's closer to like Forrest Gump and Bubba. So it's
Shrimp gumbo.
right. It's kind of like it's in the lower part of your throat and like
So can you
elongated.
do
Some
like
of them
a
different
debutante
vowels.
southern female
Well, of
accent?
course.
That's my favorite. In Sons of Anarchy, that one dude, he's like a transvestite, and he does that accent. It's
He's
solid.
from the fucking
He's
Shield.
from Justified. Yeah,
guy
The
from The
Shield.
Shield.
Oh, Walton Goggins. Right?
Yeah, he's so
That
talented.
dude's fucking great.
He's so talented.
So
Yeah,
good.
man.
Really good.
That's what it is.
Wait, let me hear it. He just said, "But of course."
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
get 2 more seconds of it.
Why, honey? You like to go to the cotillion with me? Just make sure that I get my chiffon cleaned and pressed for you. I want to look real good when you give it to me.
You know, it just went somewhere.
I love it.
It went where it had to go.
Just creeped the meat of myself.
We had to talk about it. We had to talk about it, and we had to go there.
That was so
and
good.
I'm glad that we
glad we
did.
Me too. That was
I'm
amazing.
glad that we did.
You just turn into people.
When you're drunk, do you feel like you fall into like a sort of kind of accent? Because I definitely do, and it's not from anywhere that I'm from. And it actually, I would do it. I think when I was nervous, because before I was drinking, I moved to Davis, California from the Bay, and someone's like, "Where are you from? You have a weird accent," and I was like, "I'm from an hour away. Like I'm from here."
I think probably when I get most wasted, it's probably more of a Jamaican.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see how that would work for
I
you.
mean, I'm not drunk right now, but I totally go there.
Do you
I don't know. How offensive was that?
No, I
that's not
like it. I
All
just
right.
want to know at the end of the day, like, Chad, who really are you? How do I know
Who's he
who's the
been?
real you?
Yeah, who's
showed
Chad?
up as a Jamaican?
Guys, last my fucking throat. Last night I did a show, and this demon possessed me, and I woke up and my throat was just fucking trashed, just absolutely trashed, and like it came out of nowhere.
Whoa, she said vagina, but I don't know what she said
She's
before.
she's like,
I don't know what she said
she's been
before,
slowly
Jana, but
scooting
she
closer
said-
to Chad this whole podcast.
I've been in the same spot. I
said-
the same spot where I
I said
She's like,
my throat was trashed, and you said like my vagina.
I did not
I
say
think
like my
she's-
vagina. I said like a vagina. You said your throat like by a demon.
You say
demon vagina? Like, what are you talking
No,
about?
like we were playing this. It was with consenting adults. My shout out to consenting adults. Listen,
Shout out
Shout
consenting
out.
adults.
house team, West Side Comedy.
West Side
good
Comedy
people.
Theater.
And we were at this sort of church retreat where we were picking up garbage on the beach, and then it turned out to be in front of some rich people's house that were like Tommy and Deidre. So it was a good setup to that punch. But then for some reason or another, there was a demon that Elaine had caught and then given it to me, and I didn't even see it coming. It was like
oh shit,
in one of those zones where like
there's
the
a
show
demon
has
here.
taken over, right? And then like I threw myself up against the wall and started like fucking up with my body everywhere, like I was totally possessed. And I'm like, oh man, for it, and like I passed myself out and woke up as if nothing happened. You know, the true A to B to
Yeah.
C to D in that
Yeah,
motion.
yeah.
And then a couple scenes went on, and Tommy's like, there's no way that anyone could do or say anything that would prove to me that there any sort of demonic activity. Like, just teeing it up for me as much as possible. And he's like sending me a lob that he threw the lob way in the air, giving me enough time to go back to the dugout, find a bat, and then swing for the fence. Because that's how long it took me in my head. It's probably like that quick, but on stage when everything is like
It just feels like it's like
that
up
Matrix
there.
bullet
it
time.
was
Did you hit
some
it,
Matrix
or
bullet.
did you like jump up and like grab it by your teeth and just like?
Oh no, the demon came back and said some horrible things about his cock and how he was going to cram it down his throat, because I was a priest, and then being a demon,
That's appropriate.
You have to like
No, that's
Yeah.
appropriate. That's like, if this is true, then what else is true?
exactly.
That's exactly what that is.
exactly.
Aaron,
Now,
got
do
your
you remember?
delivery.
Do you remember when you first learned that term? As far as like,
What term?
if this is true, what else is true? Like that phrase, as far as
Oh.
when improvising, what have I said? And if that is true, what else is true? Because I feel like that's something that I learned way too late. And had I actually come to that realization early in my improv career, I probably would have done much fucking better than I am. So
With improv, I still can't get it. Like, I can do it sometimes, but I still can't get it around my head. But I've known about it. I've known about that, but now I'm getting it. You know what I mean? In terms of writing.
sure.
And I remember in like 7th grade, I had a teacher, Mr. Schwab, who was like, if ever I had a teacher, that was the teacher, and he didn't teach me very much. But he kind of was like, we had to write a story. And so I wrote a story, and I was having a little bit of trouble, but he was just like, kind of encouraged that, like, you know it already. And I feel like if this is true, what else is true kind of speaks to that. You know it already.
Yeah.
If you know something, then you just look around, and then you're going to start to know something else. And if you know something else, then you're going to know something else, and it just builds.
Right.
And you.
Inch wide, mile deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Powerful.
And so, yeah.
Wow, we went into some heavy improv theory shit there.
I liked it.
And you fell asleep. You can come back.
Come back.
Oh, I'm
But
listening.
also,
amazing.
in terms of improv, I can only really do that if it's a real topic, and it's like I can't do weird
Well,
stuff.
that's the difference between invention and discovery, though. Like if someone's, oh wow, the stock market, look at all of these projections, and this sounds like the worst premise fucking ever. But we're not going to sit here and make up stocks and the different dividends there, because that's just inventing shit versus discovering something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like building.
And it took, using what is already there and discover what is happening within the context of that. And it took me forever to recognize that too. But once you fucking do, then it's like, oh, this is, if you imagine like a giant pie chart of the 360 degrees of choices, of infinite choices that you have in improv. If somebody offers one choice, boom, then it's all within the confines of this section of that pie chart. But there's still an infinite amount of choices within there, but we don't have to worry about all of these choices over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like if you
Right.
if you make an offering that's very, very like very, very wacky, okay, we're gonna play in Wacky World now. But so then
But you can still get there, and I've seen that happen. But my question is, and how do you in the theory of like the pie chart thing, how do you cut off the edge of the crust when you're like, how do I have the confidence, one, and then how do I know where to get to? So this is a wacky concept, but there's something down deep in there that we can play off of. How do I get there? And I've seen it done, but as someone who doesn't do it very often, it's very frightening and being like, they're not going to pick up on this or whatever. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, how do you...
The same with, as far as addressing the confidence issue, it's the amount of, remember your first open mic. I remember an open mic that you did last week. There was how many spans of years between that you got that confidence to work up to that. So with improv, the confidence that comes within it is just recognizing that I know everything's going to be fine. I've failed 8 million times before this one. So all I have to do is look at my partner, make a strong choice within what is already happening, and then double down on that choice.
I feel like that's
and then just
applicable in sex also.
listen and react. What's that?
You can apply that
Okay.
to sex too. I was like, yeah.
Absolutely. Listen
Just
to your partner.
double down in a lot of ways.
What is working?
If you're
How is
playing-
your audience
If
responding?
you're playing blackjack, you got 2 aces, double down also. Just split the aces.
That's
Always.
like a like next levels of comedy. Like that's cool. I'm never.
Well, I don't know. Like improv to me has always been a thing that, and because I like it and I hate it, but it is
me too.
it is something that like inspires a lot of like anxiety within me. But if I have a good environment, I feel like I can get in a good place. But it's, I don't know, but I like wring my hands. Like I am, and stand up is different because, and that's kind of, I don't know, it might be higher stakes because it's just me, but I feel I don't want to fail anyone and I don't want anyone to fail me. So like eliminating that kind of helps me feel better, but I kind of miss it in a way. And I talked to a teacher that I had that I really, and he's like, you don't like this, it's not for you. And I was like, because I was like, I miss it. And he's like, no, this
Damn.
is, he was like, no, you don't. And I was like, I
You miss it.
don't.
You're fine.
And then I like walked away. I was like, no, but I kind of do. And I miss because I like acting and I miss like just finding real emotion and exploring that. And improv to a lot of other people like the short form, that's all fun and dandy. But I want like more of like raw like theater and improv.
Have you seen a consenting adults show in the past like 3-4 months?
No.
Because that's really all we're doing. Is just we've stripped away all like the improv-y, for lack of better words, bullshit. None of
And
the,
have real moments.
yeah, and that's where it's more focused on just point of view and relationship within the group. And just going deeper within that, and there's no like splashy cut to, tag out. We're stripping it down. And in the fucking 18 years that I've been doing improv, Jesus Christ,
That's so good.
how did I get so fucking old?
I mean, it's fine. You're only 26. You're good.
Right.
It's fine.
I was 26-year-old Chad.
26-year-old Chad was fearless on stage, but not funny at all. Like I use a golf analogy for this. Like if you ever play golf, then you have 2 or 3 holes where you're double bogeying and you're slicing shit into the woods, but then you come up to that one par 3 and you crank it and you land it 2 inches from the cup and you're like, oh, I'm really fucking good at this. And so like it's those holes that make you like keep you coming back. So it's those kinds of scenes or those shows like, that was a lot of fun. We were Robot Panthers, and that was fucking cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, when do you get to be a Robot Panther?
I don't know if I want to watch that cartoon right now. Like, like what is that?
Sure. So follow the fun, and then after 18 years, you won't give a shit, and
And you'll do good work?
you'll do honest work. I feel like
work.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Even after me saying a demon possessed me last night, it was a very honest demon. And,
It was honest. Well,
yeah.
yeah, and there's a time and a place for, like, I'm not like hating obviously on improv, but
And it sound like you're hating.
no, there's a I
Hater.
can't like it into just like the making up things, because like I mean I had a moment where someone was like, oh, I'm so sorry, sorry sister, I killed your fucking hamster. So I started crying because you killed my pet.
Yeah.
And then they didn't react as if I was crying, and I'm like, I can't tell you know what I mean, like I'm here to do that, and I want to have an honest scene, but people are looking for the funny, and I feel like if you're looking for the funny, then you're not gonna find it. And even in tragedy and even in truth, that is funny.
Definitely.
I'm going to cry on stage, and goddamn it, people are gonna laugh at it. And it's as long as I am playing the sincerity of the moment, and then just a pause and a blank stare into the distance, the audience's brain, their subconscious, always wants to fill in the blanks. So as far as like the tension and release of improv and comedy in general goes, give them a chance to do that and the laughter will happen. So that sort of trust, that just takes a lot of failure.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I saw you in they were doing a scene where it's like, this is your Oscar moment, and they like stopped
Oscar winning moment? Yeah,
and you did one about baseball, right? That was really fucking awesome. I was like watching.
We were like in a submarine or something like that.
Yeah.
That was
Tool was like the cap, like your dad.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and that was, you're like, I just want to play baseball, man. Like,
That was a good one.
yeah, that was really good.
That was
like,
a good one. I think that was probably the Oscar-winning moment of all of my Oscar-winning moments.
It was really good, man.
Was I playing for comedy? No, I was playing with the sincerity.
Yeah, but it worked.
That situation, right?
Yeah, it became so funny because of that.
Yeah.
It was fucking great. I was just like, damn it. Like you just feel bad when you like. I didn't feel
You feel
bad,
bad
just like,
because you're like, I'm
I
not
can't do
included.
that. I'm like, oh man, that's so amazing. Like it's one of those.
You
But
mean
it's good. I'm happy.
jealousy.
Yeah, I don't like call it jealousy though. I'm like,
You
I
wanted
just
to
like
call it something
respect.
different,
It's
but you're just
respect.
like,
I'm
oh.
like, yeah. No, I'm
Well,
not
just-
there yet.
just-
Right, and like
Be
you
joyful
guys,
that you're saying something great.
when I watch your like over the years watching you guys do stand up, and I don't mean this in a patronizing sort of way, like you've
I'm
gotten,
already offended. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
You've gotten to the point where it's like, oh yeah, that's a solid 10 minutes. And it took a long time to get to that solid 10 minutes or solid 15 or whatever.
Yeah, it takes-
and I recognize, because when I'm bartending, I see way too much stand up. And I recognize like
And not too much improv.
that's no, I see way too much improv.
It's a balance, guys.
I've seen enough improv to last me 2 lifetimes. So most of the time when I'm watching improv, I'm pacing around the back and just listening to improv. Anyway, I can see that you guys both have like you're strong within the conviction of who you are, and that's where you're able to find your voice. Whereas I got a lot of voices, so when I'm doing stand up, then I'm just like, which one do I fucking listen to when I'm doing this? So
Yeah.
I will do a lot of act
So you
outs
gotta
and
do
stuff
them all.
like that. I guess.
You give time to them all.
And I try to like, okay, what is just Chad's dumb voice? So then that's when I have that's when I'm just writing.
Strip it down
dumb,
to you. Yeah.
dumb like.
Well, I had a hard time trying to
Have you ever,
know.
like, focused into a character in your mind and then came out like a whole other person?
Oh yeah.
How to, like,
Yeah, it's
how
weird.
Did you, how did you clean that up?
Like sometimes when this is gonna sound so fucking dumb. That character, the one from Brooklyn, Joe Hardy. He
did that on purpose.
Put that fan back on real quick.
This was a straight up drama. It was like a World War II documentary that was transcribed and then dramatized into this very like heavy PTSD sort of play. And I would have dreams in character. So like I would have dreams of Joe Hardy in the war in Germany. Which is so fucking nuts. It's so fucking nuts because
That's like kind of what happened to Heath Ledger, but not so scary.
Yeah, he was Joker.
Okay,
Yeah, so
He had dreams in Joker.
No, he
He
overdosed.
channeled it. Well, he did overdose, but they
That's
played
on
that
like a
channeled so hard.
drug.
You know what no one ever
He
talks about?
channeled.
He was with one of the
drugs?
Olsen twins,
Yeah,
and
I
she
knew
helped
that.
like cover all that shit. No one ever talks about
I
that.
want to listen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
So we're going back to.
yeah, it was weird. So I like he also had like this sort of but because the character was paralyzed, so part of the paralyzation was like a psychosomatic thing. So there was this like physicality that I had developed with it that he had. Anytime he would get too emotional, then there was this sort of like this like twitch. So I would be twitching while I was sleeping, and that would trick my brain into thinking that, well, okay, I guess Joe's in charge now. So whatever he's dreaming
What
about.
was that movie you saw?
Split.
Yep.
Split. Yeah, that sounds
Have you
exactly
seen
like
Split?
Chad's like a fun split.
No,
Chad, I can actually see that. If you kill me, I'm gonna be upset about
I'm not
it.
gonna kill you.
Don't do it.
Yeah, Chad won't. You have to worry about the beast. Yeah, exactly.
Look, have you seen Split?
I have not seen Split. He's got like 23 personalities, right?
How do you know if
Yes.
you haven't seen it?
He told me.
What the other people
Oh my
saw?
god! I came in halfway through when they were watching it, and I was like, "Fuck! I hate this house because I either see movies halfway in the from the front to the halfway through,
You
or
mean you
then
love this farm?
is it
We
our
watched
farm?
Smarter House in this house.
That's rough.
was
We had to watch
That
Smart
shit
House.
was crazy. Mine is a powerful
Yes.
thing, Chad,
Yeah, it's screwed up. So,
but it's not. You're
but
okay.
I don't think DJ Johnny Hughes had any dreams that affected
No,
him.
you're fine. You're fine.
He was more about like making out with girls in the bathroom.
How come you don't like produce a show like that? Because that'd be kind of cool. Like, so you're like in character in the scenes, just like there's no one like people walk around going to their prom, and you guys are just there being characters. Like that sounds really
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of moving parts to it. So it was, like think of a John Hughes flick. You've got your Judd Nelson character, you've got your football character, you've got your Molly Ringwald character, your
So far, you're listing everyone I have sex with.
Shout out to Molly Ringwald.
Yeah,
Molly
everyone.
Ringwald? You had
Every
sex
single,
with Molly
no,
Ringwald?
everyone that I would want to.
Oh, okay.
All my fantasies.
There was like the nerd character,
Oh, yeah.
the young Republican character, all of
Yeah.
these sorts of archetypes that all had, like I said, a very specific scripted bit. So there was like the presidential election happening, or the cheerleaders would do their dance to Metallica or something like that. And the through line was always it was the same every night. In fact, when I hear songs from the Awesome 80s Prom, I was like, oh shit, this is my cue. I got to get back on stage for the next one. So
Okay, so at whenever certain things would happen, you guys would go on stage, perform a thing, and then just go back and mingle until.
until the next thing
That's
happens.
fucking cool.
But everything you do it's that whole thing. If this is true, what else is true? That's your character, so you're acting within
Yeah.
the realm of that character. Have you guys been to Meow Wolf? Or have you heard of it?
No, what's Meow Wolf?
Have you heard of it? So it's this like interactive museum type artwork thing that is in New Mexico, and it's the creator of Game of Thrones. What's his name?
George R. Martin.
And so you like go through it, and this whole interactive thing, and there's a storyline that you can partake in or not, and try to figure it out. But there's characters around there that are all like, this is your character, and this is who you are within this thing, and they'll talk to you within their shit and like tell you to go find someone else. But there's people there that are like reading fake newspapers, trying to figure out this mystery that happened to this family. But it's this huge thing, and there's actors without the whole thing. But it's like you open the refrigerator is a door to go into this whole thing. You open up the dryer, you're going inside the dryer to
cool.
another room. Like
Really cool.
all
That sounds
all
pretty
closets lead to something else, all rooms lead to something else, and it's
that kind
super
of sounds like Sleep No More in New York. That's a very popular thing. My girlfriend and her sister have seen it like a dozen times. It's insane. It's this entire hotel. It's like 4 or 5 levels of all this sort of interactive, like it's half maze, half dance, half rave. There's like a fucking rave scene that's just intense, where it's crazy.
This podcast has just taught me that I haven't lived. Like
Go to Wolf
I need
Meow.
to do all
Look
kinds.
up Wolf Meow.
Okay, I'll just do it right here. What's it called?
Just do a search on the internet, not my.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Well, because I remember Andy posted the video of you crawling through that dryer.
Oh
I thought
yeah,
it was so cool.
It was like of my big old butt going through a dryer.
What was it called? Wolf? What?
Wolf Meow.
We went to this interactive one
Or
in
Meow Wolf.
in San Francisco. It was just called the Speakeasy Play. I think that's what it was called.
Speakeasy.
Yeah, and it was
New Mexico.
it was really cool. Like you entered from 4. There were like 4 different entrances above ground, and they all led underground to this like old speakeasy that back in the day.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
they had this sort of cabaret space set up. They had different rooms that you would be able to like be on the other side of the mirror to the dressing room of like the burlesque dancers.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you
and
can
they
just
all knew it. I mean,
yeah.
they weren't like getting like actually changed in there. They're just having gossipy things about the theater manager and the like mob ties that he was within, and it's
That's kind of
so
like
the story that made you feel better about being inside
it
there.
reminds me of like waiting in line at the Roger Rabbit ride at Disneyland.
They were just putting on a
you're
show.
going through
They
two
knew
of
that they were there. They're just making up gossip
Right?
about their managers and how
Okay.
fun it is and how great their
So,
lives
yes.
are being have.
I've been sneaking into strip bars,
Mm.
Serafina. You caught me. I've just been dressed as a two-way mirror. They didn't notice it the entire time.
That's a two-way mirror. God, does that?
They knew it the
How
whole
can that be a
time.
Halloween costume? It should be
A
just a
two-way
two-way mirror.
Two-way mirror, man.
I found a small video on it, but I'm not sure if this is like.
Let's see.
I mean, it looks like the place. Let's see.
It probably will be.
Pop it up right here behind us.
Hey, pull it up behind
Pull it
us.
up behind
It's
Chad,
right
and we'll
behind
see
Chad.
whichever. I'm gonna unmute it.
Yeah, unmute it. Yeah, so you
it's
walk
okay.
in.
I'll just go to full
Nice to
screen.
have you.
I've
And
never
so
seen
now it's
anything
full
like this
We'll
before.
apply it. We'll apply
Ever.
full screen there.
Maybe in dreams.
I mean, this
Maybe
place
if
does
I
look
were
cool.
the
So you were here.
original Alice in
It's really
Wonderland
fucking
and
cool,
fell
but
through
we were
the
there
rabbit
and we had to
hole.
leave kind of.
Maybe that would
We
be
did
What is it?
something
3D
like
glasses?
this.
Did you have
It's
3D
like-
glasses?
A million different
did.
dimensions in one
Whoa,
building.
that's cool.
Is
Dude,
like
there's
a
so
Salvador
many,
Dali
like,
painting.
every-
Like a
React
really
to
trippy
the
video game in
touch,
real
like,
life.
Every quarter, I'm surprised.
I don't
really-
think I've ever had an experience like this in all my time.
There's
Dynamite.
just
So,
so
you
many
like
things
go
and
in
so many
any nook and
different
cranny
things
and
to
it
look
leads you
at,
to
to
another
touch,
place.
to
Like you
just
literally
take
can't.
in.
It's interactive.
When I first was there, I was like, why would you
it's
need a
a story?
Like I really
year-long
wanted at this point to dig into the
subscription
story
so you
because
can go in and figure it out because there's like rooms upon rooms. Like it's hard to explain. Like you go in through the fucking fridge, then you can go into the fireplace, or you go into a closet and end up somewhere else, and then there's a whole nother room and all these other dimensions that are there, and it's really like you're
Where is
walking
this
around and
again?
you
Like,
know
my
the
ankle
people who
monitor's
are there
coming
on
up. I wanna
mushrooms. You know
go.
what I mean? They're all like in the corner.
It's in New Mexico.
New
I'm
Mexico.
going.
Yeah, Serafina stayed in clay houses. What are they called?
Adobe.
Adobe.
I learned about
Adobe
this with the
Photoshop
San Fernando
houses.
But like
mission.
that shit. But what I'm saying is,
San
so
Fernando
there was
missions and
a
Adobe.
daughter and a mom there, and they were trying to find another actor within that thing. It's like they said to go find this guy to say this. So they all have their,
I like that.
objectives.
You know that not a lot of people know this, but Knott's Berry Farm does that.
Yeah.
There's like a little like cowboy town there, and you can go to like
Mhm.
talk to the banker, and they give you clues, and there's like things written all around, and like there's a bank robbery that happens. School teacher gets married. The whole story there took me a while, but I found out.
I wanted Mila to be awake for the bank robbery, but the second we got on the train, she fell asleep. It was no fun.
That is a fun thing where you get on
I
you get on a
wanted to see what
stagecoach
my
and just
kid
get
would do.
robbed.
You know, how would she react to it? Like, mommy, she took our stuff. Like,
I mean, like that. I mean, it is crazy. Like that. Those are all like.
What if she's a badass baby and just like stabs her? Like she has a knife already.
She's a down baby already. Don't
She's
encourage
already
her
a down
violent
baby.
life.
She's just gonna be like, what? You can't take my mommy shit, and then just like reacts really.
Chad, have you ever had any like acting gigs like that you were like, just kind of had to do, weren't really proud of? Not proud. Not proud's not the right word. Just kind of like, oh, I'm a zombie or a ghost or I'm
Or I want this to be over with very quickly.
Yeah.
Like not similar to right now. Something else.
There was. No, you guys are paying me way more than I normally get. This is great.
only Chad gets paid.
There was a gig that I did in Chicago where I was. This was for the Chicago Jazz Fest. Somebody had the brilliant idea to put me in a giant costume of the Best Buy Idea Box.
Wait.
Yep.
You're the Best Buy Idea
It's a
Box?
box.
So I was the Best Buy Idea Box, and people could not wait to knock that motherfucking guy over. There's the Best Buy Idea Box. Let's knock him the fuck over. And it was insane how like, oh, this is a faceless, this isn't a real human. Thunk. So
Did you do that as
You
a
were
child,
thinking,
though?
No.
Would I have done that too? No, like these are adults that are doing this, not children.
Oh.
These are like fucking adults that can't wait to knock me over in this thing.
This is how I feel about ideas.
Were you in? Were you in Chicago again?
Yeah, it was. I lived there for
the
like
Jazz
7
Fest.
years. Yeah.
Jeez Louise. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
So
you
there
went
was
through
that one. That was pretty shitty. Then I was Sweetie Bear, who was the mask. It was a mascot costume. He was the bear for the Swedish Covenant hospitals in Chicago. So I went one day and played soccer as Sweetie Bear with like the kids in the cancer ward. That was pretty sad. And then they hired me to go to like another like German fest or something and just take pictures with kids. And I saw this girl that had just dumped me, and she was with the guy that she chose to be with.
Did she not know that you were in
She
there?
did not know that I was in there. And she was all like, "Oh my gosh, he's so cute." And this fucking guy was like, "What an idiot." And I'm just like,
Can you tell me what did you do something? Did you hit him?
Oh, I wanted to.
Or punch her?
So-
Did you punch her?
I
Trip
like
her.
Please.
Punch.
after he left, I think anybody turning around, I'd probably like pump the air or something like that. But you had to like Sweetie Bear doesn't pump a bear,
Yeah,
flip
you're
off
right.
the jag off.
You're right.
That
And
Professional
it's
there.
strip. It's strip, not punch.
That was crazy.
You should
That's,
strip her, not punch. But
that's
you're
so
at the
funny.
bear.
Do you do any?
You're like,
do you
I'm sorry,
include that
I
in your
don't know how
stand-up
to
at all?
work.
I have not. No,
You
I don't
should.
Think
That's-
I don't think I've ever told
That's
that
a-
story.
I think that's
That's
so
a really
fucking
good
funny,
story.
dude. Like, oh my god.
Like, what do you do?
Oh, just.
That's an episode of a sitcom, actually.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Stole it.
absolutely.
Sorry, it's already.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry,
Not
Fina
doing
wrote
my
it.
shit.
Sorry,
Can
sorry,
You can
Chad,
have
you're
it.
out.
No, I'm sorry. You can have it back.
Can I get a co-executive
No,
producer?
you just get it back. You
Get a
can have it.
background character, Chad. You can walk by the
Chad,
Sweetie Bear.
Chad, you got 14 days to put it down on paper. If you don't, it's mine.
All right. Pilot episode.
Hurry up and write it down.
Yeah.
Well-
Sweetie Bear and the Best Buy idea box. I think we were giving out like gift cards, and it wasn't just me they were knocking over. There was a girl that was in classes with me at Second City at the time, and she was as tiny of a lady as possible, like
Like a runt.
like a runt, definitely. Like worked out 8 hours a day because she thought she was fat, but was just like like
that's
super
sad.
super skinny.
Bless her heart.
But people would come up to her and knock her the fuck down too because she was in a Best Buy box, and they like people are garbage, garbage fire
Or
humans.
is Best Buy garbage?
Or maybe people hated Best Buy. So all of those gift cards that we did not hand out, you're goddamn right we fucking swiped those.
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck yeah, baby. That
Allegedly,
was payment.
he's fine.
That was payment. That was
That's
alleged.
great. Yeah, he didn't really do that.
He didn't.
Take that, Best Buy.
He didn't.
That was crazy, dude. Thank you so much, Chad. I wish we had way
Yeah.
more time.
Yeah, my teeth are floating.
I don't know what that means.
That means I have to pee.
He has to pee.
Oh, okay, well,
But I do have to meet my better half anyway.
no problemo.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
thank you so much,
Yeah,
Chad.
thank you so much.
All
for
right, guys.
stopping by.
Thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
Thanks for
Cheers.
letting me
Yeah.
come shoot the shit and have a
And
couple
consenting
pulls.
adults.
Yeah,
that's
go
every-
Dodgers tomorrow.
Yeah, consenting adults, Westside Comedy Theater, the first and third Monday. House
yeah.
team. There's the house team tournament next month, which all the competition money goes to like charity, so that's a good thing. And then Mission Improbable every once in a while.
That happens
Oh, yeah.
every
great.
Friday.
Yeah, and you
Saturday.
guys will be able to see all of Chad's social media links below.
Oh yeah.
Oh, just watch commercials
shout 'em
and
out
you'll
if you
see
want.
this fool.
You'll always see Chad.
You know
Chad's
what?
everywhere.
You don't even have to squint and you'll see him.
I deleted Facebook, so you can't find me there. But Instagrams, I think I deleted Twitter off my phone. I may still have it somewhere, but I hate becoming a fucking scroll zombie. Like when I'm
I'm on a mission.
when I'm coaching improv and I tell like the team that I'm coaching, like if you guys have a moment that's not honest, everybody has porn in their fucking pockets, and they can go and just watch porn right there, and nobody will think twice about it because it's in their pocket. And what's everyone else doing? What's everyone else doing? What's everyone else doing? What's everyone else doing? So
I'm sorry, when you can just look at free buttholes any day.
I watch this. There's videos of college student that like he's watching porn in class and he thinks his headphones are plugged in, but they're not. And so he has his headphones on. He's sitting back just watching porn.
I want to see that.
And yeah, look. Well, all right, we'll fucking do it. We'll pull it up.
I have to pee though, but hurry
All right,
up.
why don't you go to the bathroom? Go to the bathroom.
No, hurry
Let's
up.
just end this. No,
Let's end it.
Yeah, we'll see you
later.
next time. Thank you guys so much. Bye, Chad. You're the best.
Hey,
Dude.
peace.
Cheers.
Yeah, I don't need to see it on air. People don't need to see how like into it.